When nature becomes your doctor, a life-saving discovery in the Swiss Alps. Digestive emergencies send thousands of seniors to emergency rooms every year, a reality that could often be prevented with proper knowledge. Most never learn the simple principles that could transform their digestive health. Today, I'm going to share the story of how traditional Alpine wisdom saved a life at 3,000 feet above sea level. But first, let me ask you something. When was the last time you had a truly comfortable bowel movement? Not just any movement, but one where you felt completely empty, relieved, and energized afterward. If you're over 60, chances are you can't remember. My name is Thomas Whitaker, and what I'm about to tell you happened to my dear friend, Klaus Müller, just 6 months ago. Klaus, a 67-year-old retired engineer from Munich, was supposed to be enjoying a peaceful hiking retreat in the Swiss Alps. Instead, he was dying. For 3 days, Klaus hadn't had a single bowel movement. His abdomen was swollen like a balloon, hard as stone, and the pain was so excruciating he could barely whisper. We were miles from civilization, no cell signal, no rescue helicopter available. Just pristine alpine air and the sound of his labored breathing echoing off the mountain peaks. I've spent 40 years in remote corners of this world, from Tibetan monasteries to Amazon villages, learning healing secrets that most doctors never encounter. But watching Klaus's face turn grey with pain, I felt helpless. Modern medicine had failed him before we even left home. Laxatives, fiber supplements, even prescription medications had stopped working months ago. Then I remembered something that seemed almost too simple to be true. An encounter with an 84-year-old shepherd named Johann, whose grandfather had passed down an Alpine remedy that had saved lives in these mountains for over 200 years. A combination so humble, so ordinary, that it's probably sitting in your kitchen right now. What happened next defied everything I thought I knew about digestive health. Not only did it save Klaus's life, but it revealed a truth about our gut that pharmaceutical companies don't want you to know. A truth that could free millions of seniors from the prison of chronic constipation, bloating, and digestive misery. If you're tired of feeling like your body is working against you, if you've lost hope that you'll ever feel truly healthy again, then this story is your lifeline. Because sometimes the most powerful healing comes not from a laboratory, but from the wisdom of those who understand what our bodies have been trying to tell us all along. Let me take you back to that moment when everything changed. Klaus was lying on a makeshift bed in our mountain hut, his breathing shallow, his skin clammy. I knew we had maybe an hour before his condition became irreversible. That's when Johann, the old shepherd, appeared at our door like something out of a fairy tale. "Your friend has forgotten how to listen to his gut," Johann said in his thick Alpine accent, his weathered hands already reaching for his worn leather satchel. "This happens to city people. They treat their stomach like a machine, not like the garden it truly is." Johann explained something that no doctor had ever told Klaus in all his years of digestive struggles. Your intestines aren't just a tube for waste. They're a living ecosystem, home to over 100 trillion microorganisms that literally control your mood, your immunity, and your will to live. When you're over 60, this ecosystem becomes like an abandoned garden, overrun with weeds and depleted of life. "In the old days," Johann continued, kneeling beside Klaus, "we knew that constipation was never just about the bowels. It was about the spirit of the gut dying." He pulled out 2 simple items, a small jar of thick, creamy yogurt and a handful of what looked like tiny brown seeds. "These are flax seeds," he said, "but not just any flax seeds. These come from our mountain meadows, where they grow strong in the clean air." He pulled out a small mortar and pestle carved from local stone. "The secret is in the freshness. You must grind them just before eating to release their power." Here's what Johann taught me that day, and what decades of research have now confirmed. When you reach 60, your digestive system faces a perfect storm of destruction. Your stomach acid decreases by 40%, your intestinal walls become inflamed, and most critically, the beneficial bacteria that have protected you your entire life begin to die off at an alarming rate. But here's what amazed me. Within just a few days of consuming the right combination of fermented foods and specific fiber sources, Klaus's gut bacteria began to flourish again, restoring the digestive balance he'd lost. You see, Klaus's problem wasn't just constipation. It was like his entire digestive world had gone silent. Modern processed foods, years of stress, and medications had created a barren landscape inside him where the beneficial bacteria that once thrived were barely surviving. The fermented yogurt Johann brought contained live cultures that had been passed down through generations in these Alpine regions. Hardy, resilient strains that could bring life back to even the most compromised digestive systems. But the real magic wasn't just in the yogurt, it was in those precious flax seeds. Johann crushed them between two ancient stones, and I watched as golden oils began to glisten in the mountain sunlight. "These seeds carry the essence of our meadows," he said with reverence, "but their power sleeps until you awaken it. You must grind them fresh, just before eating, to release their life force." What Johann knew from generations of mountain wisdom, modern science has beautifully confirmed. Freshly ground flax seeds are nutritional powerhouses, bursting with omega-3 fatty acids, gentle soluble fiber, and healing compounds called lignans. When ground fresh, they become both the food that nourishes beneficial bacteria and the medicine that soothes inflamed intestinal walls. Research shows that combining probiotics with prebiotics creates something almost magical, a partnership where each makes the other stronger. As Johann mixed the golden flax paste with the creamy yogurt, his weathered hands moved with the confidence of someone who had witnessed countless healings. The mixture looked so simple, so humble, yet I could sense Klaus's body responding even before he took the first spoonful. This wasn't just food, it was medicine disguised as nourishment, delivering both the bacterial army Klaus's gut desperately needed and the perfect environment for them to rebuild his inner world. Within 20 minutes of Klaus consuming Johann's healing mixture, I witnessed something that still gives me goosebumps. His rigid, swollen abdomen began to soften like a tight fist slowly unclenching. The grey mask of pain lifted from his face, replaced by the first spark of hope I'd seen in days. And then, for the first time in 3 days, Klaus smiled. A real, genuine smile that reached his eyes. "Thomas," he whispered, tears streaming down his cheeks. "I can feel something moving. Something is waking up inside me." But Johann wasn't finished. "The healing has begun," he said, "but now we must teach his gut to remember how to be alive again." He explained that most people make the mistake of thinking that one solution will fix everything. True digestive health requires understanding that your system is like a garden that needs daily tending, not a machine that needs occasional repair. The traditional Alpine approach recognizes that seniors face unique digestive challenges. Your metabolism naturally slows, your hydration needs change, and your body produces different levels of digestive enzymes. This isn't failure, it's a natural part of aging. Your body is adapting to conserve energy for vital functions, but it needs your support to maintain the delicate balance that keeps you healthy and comfortable. Johann's ancestors had discovered that the secret wasn't in fighting against these changes, but in working with them. They understood that the morning hours, when cortisol levels are naturally highest, provide the perfect window for digestive healing. They knew that combining fermented dairy with freshly ground seeds creates a slow-release system that nourishes your gut bacteria throughout the day. Over the next 6 hours, as Klaus's system began to function normally again, Johann shared more wisdom that had been passed down through generations of mountain dwellers. He spoke of the connection between emotional stress and digestive health, how worry and fear literally paralyze the intestines. He explained why modern medicine fails so many seniors, because it treats symptoms instead of addressing the root cause. A gut ecosystem that has lost its will to thrive. Now, I know what you're thinking. "Thomas, this sounds amazing, but I don't live in the Swiss Alps, and I don't have access to a mystical shepherd." That's exactly what Klaus said when we returned to Munich. But here's the important truth. You don't need to climb mountains to access these principles. You just need to understand the science behind Johann's traditional wisdom. Over the past 6 months, I've worked with Klaus to recreate Johann's mountain medicine using ingredients available in any grocery store. We've tested variations, refined the process, and discovered that the magic isn't in the location. It's in the method. The secret isn't in challenging conventional medicine. It's in understanding that your morning routine sets the tone for your entire digestive day. Most seniors start their day with coffee, toast, and stress. a combination that can overstimulate their already sensitive system. Instead, Johann's approach begins with what he called the awakening ritual. Here's exactly what Klaus does every morning, and what has kept him regular, comfortable, and energetic for the past 6 months. First, upon waking, before coffee, before checking messages, before the world intrudes, Klaus prepares his morning mixture. He takes 2 tablespoons of full-fat, plain Greek yogurt. Not low-fat, not flavored, not the processed versions that line supermarket shelves. Full-fat Greek yogurt contains more beneficial bacteria strains and provides the healthy fats needed for proper nutrient absorption. Look for brands that list multiple live cultures on the label. Next comes the flax seeds, and here's the crucial part that Johann taught us. Whole flax seeds will pass through your digestive system unchanged. Your body simply can't break through their tough outer shell. But when you grind them fresh, you unlock their nutritional powerhouse: omega-3 fatty acids, soluble fiber, and lignans. Every morning, Klaus grinds exactly 1 tablespoon of whole flax seeds in a small coffee grinder. He buys whole seeds and stores them in the refrigerator to prevent rancidity, grinding only what he needs each day. This fresh grinding releases the oils and makes the fiber immediately available to feed his beneficial gut bacteria. But timing is everything. Klaus eats this mixture exactly 30 minutes before his first meal, giving the beneficial bacteria time to prepare his digestive system for the day ahead. During those 30 minutes, he doesn't drink coffee, doesn't check email, doesn't stress about the day. Instead, he sits quietly, often looking out his window at the distant mountains, remembering Johann's words about giving his gut time to awaken. The results have been nothing short of miraculous. Within the first week, Klaus was having daily bowel movements for the first time in years. By week 3, the chronic bloating that had plagued him for decades was gone. But the most remarkable change was in his energy levels. "I feel like I did 20 years ago," he told me recently. "It's as if my entire body has remembered how to be alive." This isn't just Klaus's story. I've shared this scientifically backed method with dozens of seniors over the past months, and the results are consistently positive. Margaret, a 72-year-old from Cornwall, England, wrote to tell me that after 3 months of the morning routine, she's dramatically reduced her dependence on digestive medications. Robert, a 68-year-old from Toronto, says his doctor is pleased with how his overall health markers have improved. But remember, this isn't a miracle cure. It's a lifestyle approach that honors the science of digestive health. The combination of probiotics and prebiotics is a well-established nutritional principle. The freshly ground flax seeds provide the fiber and omega-3s your gut needs to function optimally. The full-fat yogurt delivers the bacterial diversity that can help restore balance to your digestive system. And the consistent timing gives your body the gentle, daily support it needs to maintain healthy function. Johann taught me that healing happens in layers, like the rings of a tree. The first layer is relief. Your symptoms begin to ease. The second layer is restoration. Your body begins to repair the damage. The third layer is resilience. Your system becomes strong enough to handle life's challenges again. Most people experience relief within the first week. Restoration typically takes 2 to 3 months. But resilience, that deep, lasting health that lets you live fully without fear, that's the gift that keeps giving for the rest of your life. 6 months later, Klaus and I returned to those same Alpine peaks. But this time, instead of carrying the weight of illness, Klaus was carrying gratitude. We found Johann tending his sheep, and Klaus embraced the old shepherd with tears in his eyes. "You didn't just save my life," Klaus told him. "You gave me back my dignity, my hope, my future with my grandchildren." Johann smiled that knowing smile I'd seen so many times in my travels. "I gave you nothing," he said. "I simply reminded your body of what it already knew. The healing was always inside you, waiting to be awakened." That's the truth I want to leave you with today. Your body isn't broken. It's not failing you. It's simply forgotten how to thrive in a world that's forgotten how to nourish it properly. But with the right knowledge, the right approach, and the right respect for your body's wisdom, you can reclaim the health and vitality you thought were lost forever. The traditional Alpine approach that Johann shared isn't about fighting against aging. It's about understanding that your body at 60, 70, or 80 has different nutritional needs than it did at 20. When you honor those needs with proper nutrition and digestive support, significant improvements in health and comfort become possible. If Klaus's story has touched your heart, if you recognize yourself in his struggle, then I want you to know that you're not alone. Millions of seniors are suffering in silence, believing that digestive problems are just part of getting older. But they're not. They're symptoms of a system that needs gentle, consistent support, not harsh medications or invasive procedures. The morning routine that saved Klaus's life isn't a miracle cure from some distant land. It's a simple, accessible method based on solid nutritional principles that you can start tomorrow morning. 2 ingredients, 30 minutes, and the commitment to treat your body with the consistent care it deserves. Your journey to healing starts with a single step. Try the morning ritual for 1 week. Notice how your body responds. Listen to what it's telling you. And remember Johann's words, the healing was always inside you, waiting to be awakened. If this story has inspired you to take action, please share it with someone you love. Subscribe to continue following Klaus's journey and to learn more secrets from the remote corners of our world, where people understand that true health isn't about managing symptoms. It's about remembering how to be fully alive. Your body is waiting for you to remember. The question is, are you ready to awaken the healing that's been inside you all along?